everybody, this is Salvi here with the Vtuber news coming right up for you. Before that, of course, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell, and the like button as well, and let's get right into it. Cover Corporation is the parent company of Hololive, Holostars, Hololive Device, all of those separate different branches underneath and agencies. They are going hard, as they always have, on anyone who is slandering or trying to do harm, reputational harm, or other type of harm to their VTubers. In this case, they have gone hard in the state of California, the Northern District of California, in the District Court versus Yamashita. In San Jose, it's civil federal question, copyright February 5th, 2026. There are publicly available documents. I'm going to take a look at the redacted ones that we have available. The recent filings are these. On the 5th, they had certificate of interested entities in Cover Corporation. Tadabachi Bruno proposed summons, complaint for copyright infringement against Masaki Yamashita, filing fee, receipt number, etc. filed by Cover Corporation. They have the Exhibit B to Cover, and then they have summons issued to Masaki Yamashita. Initial case management scheduling order with ADR deadlines, case management statement, all that kind of stuff. Just regular filing stuff. Summons issued to Masaki Yamashita here as well. Another summons on the 9th and on the 10th for the specific dates that they are going to be doing these separate things for. Now, this is interesting because why did they do it in California? I don't quite know. But let's take a look at some of the redacted stuff here that they have, which is, I'm going to see if I can make open this image in a bit, make it a bit bigger for you guys to take a look a little bit better at everything there. And here we are in a bigger form here. Copyright cover characters have achieved global fame and popularity and constitute valuable intellectual property and significant source of revenue for plaintiff. Defendant's willful copyright infringement. On around early January 2026, plaintiffs discovered that defendant had uploaded video content that infringes covers characters onto his YouTube channel called V_Virgin_Mary, features 9.2 thousand subscribers of the date of the complaint. More specifically, plaintiff discovered that defendant had uploaded 68 different infringing videos that reproduced and or contained derivative works of the cover characters hereinafter infringing videos. Infringing videos specifically identified cover characters by name, making it clear that the defendant's infringement was intentional and willful. Attached to Exhibit B, a chart listing URL of each infringing video and the cover character and cover character registration being infringed. As an example, screenshot of one of the infringing videos below. Women tend to bring their emotions into their work, asking use that I pick are different. These are clips of them, but clips that are taken out of context and used to defame. Cover Corporation in general allows clips to be made because it helps their talents usually. But if it is done in a malicious way, and it is done in a way that is without context, and in a way, trying to defame them in one way or another, they will go after them. This is because YouTube is in California. The speculation is they would like them to shut down their channel. Part of YouTube's terms is that litigation related to their service be handled exclusively in federal or state court in Santa Clara County, California. That's where San Jose is, so that's the likely explanation. So they're doing it in California because that's where YouTube wants you to usually do it. YouTube also requires proof of a lawsuit to keep videos down past 10 days, so it may be filed only to extend the takedown period. Despite providing YouTube with evidence regarding plaintiff's registered copyright, defendant's willful infringement, because defendant has submitted counter notifications denying infringement, Google YouTube has taken the position that proof of legal action is required in order for the infringing content to remain removed. Accordingly, plaintiff hereby brings this action for copyright infringement. So it is to support the copyright strikes that they used to take down, because that is the way that it works on YouTube. That is the way that it's worked for years. That is the system that we have right now. Whether you like it or you don't, that's the best thing we have right now. You could do a copyright claim like what happened there for copyright infringement, since it is their characters. And then you could do a counterclaim as the person there. You say it is a fair use, etc. Then they will with that, if until it's in a response, they will put it back up. But in this case, Cover is the type of company that has the type of money that will actually be able to put things out there fully. Any TLDR regarding the channel, like what they do, very long-standing anti-dating back to the Nico days, probably prompted by the Miko horse racing thing. Saw the YouTube channel just filled with hate in the comments. Some guy said the talents leave and then complain about the company, therefore Cover is bad. They're all delusional, whining children. Finally happy, hope everything goes smoothly. And continuing on here with the Yamashita, defendant is an individual having address there, and the Japanese with the email address Buddha2434fan. That's Nijisanji there. Plaintiff does not know the true names of the other defendants sued. And it says when it comes to a particular anti, they were attacking Nijisanji before they started targeting Hololive. So, even if they're pretending to be a Niji fan, it's not surprising at all. In the end, this person is just an anti-VTuber in general. Their goal is to stir up discord in the community, which is why they do such blatantly obvious things to try to create conflict between fan bases. Using the email address like 2434 Nijisanji fan is way too obvious as a cover-up. I've never seen anyone use an email address like that before. Only problems with the analysis is that cover-up implies that they plan on having their email exposed in a court record. You need some context. Section of the court case for the stuff like that. So it could be someone who's an anti just in general, someone who was a Nijisanji fan or still is a Nijisanji fan, we don't know. To try to keep the fighting down, to view them as fake fan of everything. Too many accounts in K-pop posing as a fan in a group. Oh, because this person apparently has stuff on K-pop and stuff like that, but then people wouldn't want to dig too deeply. Added level of irony given the username OP. Just notice what happens when you look at the sub when you're just waking up. Wow, the irony. So yeah, people are taking a look at everything. When things like this happen, they look at everything. And I'm glad that Cover is not just letting things fly and is actually doing, well, what YouTube asks of them. We are finally going to hear about what happened from the woman herself, Jelly Hoshiumi. She is a female English-speaking VTuber with FaZe Connect's second wave of FaZe invaders alongside Dizzy Dokuro and Ember Amare. We have her on her Twitter here. If you remember, there was that issue that had happened where she did make a comment about not wanting any politics in games. That it seemed to have been coming from a misunderstanding on what was happening with a DLC of Minecraft. Minecraft had a new DLC where, you know, they were, because of Black History Month and things like that, they were pushing out a new DLC for the civil rights movement, thing like that. She thought it was just a full-on new part and forced part of Minecraft where they were just putting that kind of stuff in there. She didn't want any kind of things that could even be considered as political, because a lot of those things do end up becoming big political conversations. Not necessarily they weren't political to start with, but even then you could say that the civil rights movement did have a political arm because they needed to. They needed to have that in order to have change. So for her, it felt like they were adding stuff to the game that wasn't really originally a part of the game. But it was a DLC. I believe she didn't know that in the beginning. She ended up getting some flack for that. FaZe Connect saw that people were calling her, you know, racist and all that other kind of stuff when she wasn't, but they were calling her that. And then they did their statement that got a lot of people really ticked off, because in it, they pretty much gave the feeling like they thought that the statement was that way, was racist, bigoted, hatred, that kind of thing. It gave people that impression, at least. The way that they did it was just not good wording. You can understand from a, you know, standpoint of a company, it just wasn't good wording, and it wasn't good. It wasn't received well. Well, right now, we have from Rima Evenstar an update about what's going to be happening. Jelly has scheduled a stream for February 12th, 2026, titled New Game After a Short Statement. And this is what it is here. New Game After a Short Statement. This is the waiting 122 as of right now. It is scheduled for 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 12th. So it is there, even though it's still 2 days away. The waiting room is already 119 people lined up to support her on her first stream back. Naturally, people are speculating about what the statement will be. Some are worried it could be a graduation, but the choice of statement instead of announcement makes it sound like it will not be. Wishing her a smooth return stream and a warm welcome back. Another thing, of course, is that she just has this here. This is same as she has for her schedule. It is not a white background. There is no wind in her hair. It has that smile, yes, but there's no wind in her hair. It isn't that white background, and it isn't like black text on white background with announcements or anything like that. So we know it's not going to be anything too horrible. At least that's what we're hoping. Anybody who is, you know, hoping for Jelly's wonderful return. And yes, it has been 6 days since she last did it. And it was Unemployment Simulator 2018 was the last time she actually did it. So they are hoping for a triumphant return from Jelly. It's good that she took a time off, because she, you know, after all that kind of drama and stuff happening, you do want to take some time off. You do want to be able to relax and not worry about that. Let things die down, because immediately if she would have come back, you would have had a lot of questions. You would have had maybe even some trolls, things like that happening on her whole side. So doubt it's a graduation. If it is, then people are going to turn sakana into sushi. Oh, FaZe Connect will never be able to live that down. If it's anything, even in a definite hiatus, anything like that, FaZe Connect will not be able to live that down. I can tell you that. Statement will be announcing Lazy Clipper as her alter ego. If they force her to apologize, they'll personally burn the FaZe warehouse down. Oh god, let's make sure the pressures her not to say anything that might indicate she might make a mistake by acting on civil rights during her Black History Month like I done. Well, I mean, sometimes trolls are really good at baiting you. I don't think Jelly will let herself get baited for that. She lets herself get baited, like rage baited and things like that. You know, that's normal for a streamer because it makes for good content. But I doubt she is unaware enough to not, you know, to let someone actually bait her into that. You better not be making her apologize, Isao Sakana. It better not be an apology. If it is, Face Connect truly is dead. She's about to Jorbs, reaching 1 gorillion sales. Definitely not a graduation because the Wish Girls are ride or die for each other. If it's an apology, then it's a true final nail in the FaZe. Not her fault, but the company is done for. Cha Draws seems very, very excited, you know, bouncing with excitement. You have its apology for the statement she made. It'll literally be over, which, you know, I do absolutely understand. I do absolutely agree with that. If they force her to make an apology, it'll turn into a full-time FaZe anti. Probably to tell you guys to tone it down. I'm seeing a lot of you guys getting a little too aggressive on her name, you know, through her name. We have a precedent for Jelly making a short official announcements. So she's made announcements before, but not, you know, because this was one that was made a while back, but it was not anything like nasty or anything like that. It was just kind of like a joke in this case. I think this important announcement was kind of like a joke. I'm amazed how incredibly talented they've been at passively criticizing the company. Dizzy with FaZe weekly statement and clips. Iody with the thumbnail roasting the fish. Nasa drawing Sakana, then revealing it was Death Note, my fave. So yeah, at the very least, they can, the talents can joke around, and they aren't being, well, at least in that sense, they're not being destroyed by Sakana. Better not make Gerardius to apologize. Their entire existence has been burning already. Doesn't seem like a graduation announcement. As I said before, we'll post my bees on main. If Jelly graduates, 0% chance. You especially don't announce that at the start of the game stream, which, if I had to guess, is an intentional choice to dispel rumors. Yes, the fact that she is doing it on a game stream more than likely is to dispel the rumors of it being a graduation announcement or a hiatus announcement or anything like that, because that would be its own announcement. It would be separate. It would be maybe like a 10 or 20 minute video, and then that would be it. This is a game stream as well, so it is, you know, anybody who thought it was going to be something negative like that, no, it's not going to be that. Who knows what it's going to be. I really honestly do hope that it's not like a prepared statement where she is apologizing for stuff. It's probably just like, all right guys, tone it down now. I'm back. I'm going to be back. Let's just forget that stuff, you know, like forget about all the stuff that's going on. Let's just be happy and have a good time. Most likely what's going to happen, in my opinion. Either way, I'm glad she's back. I'm glad she's going to be coming back, and just, I really hope she's just herself. I hope it doesn't seem like, what, you know, one of those things where she seems muted or seems like she's kind of trying to prevent any specific way of saying things or anything like that. I just hope it's her being happily back. OFfkai Expo, for those who don't know, is a VTuber convention that has been growing year by year. They have something going on July 24th to 26th. They also have things going on in different places, but I'm talking about the San Jose convention, which is the big one, the Expo Gen 5. They have announced a lot of people coming in here. Dia Fortuna has breached containment to attend OFfkai Gen 5 in San Jose. So she's going to be one of the ones that's going to be going on for a special guest, as well as Juna Unagi. Dapper Zapper Juna Unagi rapidly approaches OFfkai Gen 5 in San Jose, California from July 24th to 26th. As well, on those days, as a special guest, they might be doing meet and greets too. It's really interesting. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have panels or things like that. Wake up, get up, good morning, mother effers. Make your way and clear a path for Keisan on air. She's going to be on there as well. And Second MD, an actual medical doctor. Not your medical doctor, so, you know, he always says, you know, take this as just recommendations, not recommendations from a doctor. Just something, you know, to take a look at. Doctor will see you now, or we'll see the doctor. Check up on Second MD for a special edition of Office Hours live at OFfkai Gen 5. So that is the main thing there. Invited to do my first ever panel at OFfkai. So I guess he's going to be doing some Office Hours thing. Maybe answering some medical questions as a VTuber, or how it is to be a VTuber and a medical doctor at the same time, which I don't even know how he finds the time, because doctors, oh boy, doctors have worked hard. So I don't even know how he finds the time. But either way, I'm glad that all of these people are going to be showing up at OFfkai and having a good time with their fans. they are getting some new figures, as we're going with Omado Polka and Hoshiumi, or Hoshiumi, who have two different figures happening. Each one has their own figure. We're going to first start with Omado Polka. Omado Polka for WFW 2026. WF 2026 W exhibit info, prototype on display for the first time. Omado Polka 1/7 scale figure at the joint booth with Aniplex, prototype on display for the first time. Follow at Claynold News for the latest update. This is their new figure here. It is Omado Polka, Omado Troop Grand Circus, and then you have, because she is the ringleader. Omado Polka is a Fennec Fox ringleader, and you have it a lot closer here. I love the attention to detail that they have in most of these things. This is not going to be cheap, as the 1/7 scale figures usually are not. Moving on to Hoshiumi, as I mentioned, I'm also going to be talking about her. Ami is having Hoshiumi Dress Up Darling cosplay version for my Dress Up Darling X Hololive by Aniplex. They are, well, the Ami report is saying this through Aniplex here. And here is the full one that you have there. Her lifting her skirt a little bit. That is a very marine thing to do. With Kumarin right there. It's basically a bear version of her. If you don't know Kumarin, well, you should know Kumarin there. You have Kumarin and another just bear plushie there with her smiling. When it comes to these, usually, even if they have, if it's all gray, they try to give a little bit of life to it by either coloring the eyes or something like that. In these two, they haven't, but usually they do color the eyes a little bit in order to give it some life so it doesn't seem so dead inside. But this looks really great. There's two of them. I have both. I need this now. So yeah, this is, it's beautiful. It looks really good. If I had the money, I'd get it. I already spent a lot of money when I went to Tokyo and ended up getting figures there and stuff like that. Not figures, but, more acrylics and things like that. So it can be expensive, but these are really well done. Hanasaki Miyabi is a male Japanese VTuber associated with Hololive Productions JP actually, not JP, not EN, JP, Holostars branch, with Kagami Kira, Kanada Izuru, Yakushiji Suzaku, and Yakushiji. I just want to make sure I said it correctly. And Arurandesu and Rika. Why are we talking about them today? Well, we have this. And for whatever reason, the translations weren't able to be fetched correctly, so I have translated it myself here, with the machine translation at least. Notice of work, I made an educational video for young people. Everyone be careful too. Through the interactions with listeners, VTuber Hanasaki Miyabi introduced malicious sales practices that young people are likely to fall victim to and keywords to watch out for, and promoted it. Where did they promote it? At different, I believe this is Shinjuku, one of Shinjuku stations, and it is here in Japanese of the number you can call if you see any of those things. And here, advertisement for Hoshiumi Miyabi is displayed on the digital signage inside Lidabashi Station. Oh, I was really close to Lidabashi Station. I think I've gone through that station when I was in Tokyo. I think. Maybe. I don't know, man. It gets confusing. Let's continue on here. Saw the shady business practice prevention and ad featuring Hanasaki. But basically, as you can see here, it was Miyabi-kun. Absolutely don't want to fall for a scam, so I watched it about 3 times. And again, this is the one here. And they are going through the whole explanation of everything. And what to look out for, what is happening there, all that kind of stuff. And the number to call if you want any more information, all that kind of stuff. So here's another one that was not translated properly. Have it here through interactions with listeners. This is the main one that was I showed before. And this is, it says on the second part there, beware malicious sales practices, victims of malicious sales practices aimed at young people. And that is their prevention program, which is great. Number 1, it introduces people to Miyabi. Number 2, it brings people's idea of Miyabi into a positive space. And it just also educates in a way that a lot of young people, because a lot of young people do like either anime, VTubers, or both in Japan. So they will, or at least manga or some kind of form like that. And they will maybe pay a little bit more attention to it in this way, instead of an old man or whatever random person saying it. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, the place where I like to showcase up-and-coming VTubers of various sizes, shapes, forms, types, everything in between. The reason why I do this is simple. I want it to be a positive space for VTubing, a place where VTubing can grow and VTubers can grow, and I give them the opportunities that I didn't have when I was a much smaller VTuber. Today we're talking about Namons, the VTuber, that Namons, just a little guy, a PFP and PNG tuber, and we are taking a look at their channel here. It is Namons the VTuber, creator of VTuber clips and shorts, VTuber enjoyer, PNG wannabe, Vegas Pro 4, and that is one thing that they have here. They have, you know, their whole tips about section, things like that, and taking a look at some of the things that they've created here. It does look like it really is just clips for the most part, but they have their own thing here, and just taking a look at different types of VTuber enjoyers, different types of things like that. This is a little bit of a different one. That's what's going to probably be a little bit of a shorter one, not showing any clips or anything like that of what they do, because they're pretty much showing clips of other people. Just trying to help out people who are maybe, you know, a little bit smaller than myself, and give you guys a little bit of a wider breadth of people out there. Thank you guys for watching as always, and of course take a look, and if you enjoy everything, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all those things that YouTube asks of you. Really do appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.